Hello everyone, welcome back to Lucky Loaders 15, and this video will be previewing the final day of the Aintree Grand National Festival, and also as well I will be giving my big selection for the big race in the 5:15, which is obviously the Grand National tomorrow. If you haven't done so already, go and check out my Grand National preview. I've got all my selections up there. I've given 4 selections for the race, given as well some horses to avoid, stats and facts, trends to be looking out for. I recorded it on Wednesday and you can find it on my previous videos if you haven't seen it already, so go and check it out for my full opinions on the Grand National tomorrow. But without further ado, we'll get straight into day 3. And we're going to start tomorrow in the first race, the 1:45, with actually my nap selection with a YouTube channel that I work for called the Panzers Page. It's called Tommy Rapper. He's 28 to 1 with bookmakers at the moment, with 6 places on offer. I think this is a cracking each way bet. Trained by Dan Skelton, who could have done a bit of a handicap plot here. Obviously, he won the county hurdle with Chittabello in kind of similar fashion. Bridget Andrews as well is one of the stable jockeys for the Skelton team, booked for the ride. Finished 4th at Chepstow last time out, and the form couldn't have worked out better. You had To Be Fair ran a really good race at the Cheltenham Festival to finish 2nd in the Patomps Network final. That was definitely a good race. The 3rd place horse, Digger to Dowdy for Charlie Longton, won at Uttoxeter recently. The 5th place horse, Wicked Willie for Nigel Twiston-Davis, went and scored at Kempton, so the form's been boosted. Now for mark over hurdles over 136. I think this horse can be very competitive. Going at a flat track as well should definitely suit. Won at Haydock before in testing conditions, and the ground tomorrow should be on the soft side of good. So for me, I just think this horse has got a lot in her favour tomorrow and could definitely go really close. Got some good form in the book. Obviously it is quite a big competitive handicap, but Tommy Rapper, if he's given a good race, he's run in some decent races before in big fields, so he's not going to be suffering from a lack of inexperience. I think he's got a good chance tomorrow, and I think this has been the plan for the last couple of months. So for me at 28 to 1, I think he's a cracking bet to start us off. We then go to the 2:25, and I'm going to go for Brewin Upastorm here. I didn't think it was the strongest race. He's 5 to 2 bookmakers at the moment, trained by Ollie Murphy, who's still seeking his first Grade 1 win. Richard Johnson, the current champion jockey, who's probably going to make it a 4th consecutive title in a couple of weeks' time, is booked for the ride. Often rides this horse. He finished 4th in the Ballymore last time out at the Cheltenham Festival. The form's worked out very well as champ. The 2nd place horse has won today at Aintree, so good piece of form there. I didn't really see too much trouble from some of his rivals tomorrow. I think 2.5 miles is his ideal trip. He's pretty versatile on the ground, and I think he's finally going to get his head in front tomorrow. So that's going to be the tip there. We're not going to hang around too much there. Again, the 3 o'clock, not the strongest Grade 1 you're ever going to see for the level, but I thought Knocknanuss might be the one to be with tomorrow. He's 13 to 2 bookmakers at the moment, trained by Gary Moore. Jamie Moore booked for the ride. Now returning to a flat track, I could definitely see him running a good race here. He absolutely took them all to the cleaners that day when he won at Newbury very impressively. He's a front runner, and he actually beat the likes of Clondor Castle, who's in this race tomorrow. He's actually shorter than him by a country mile. So even though maybe Clondor Castle has improved, I still wouldn't discount that effort from Newbury. He's had a few decent performances as well. His run at Plampton, his win at Fakenham have been good this season, and the form's worked out. He finished 5th in the Arkle last time out, where I think the track of Cheltenham probably didn't suit him. I think back on a flat track tomorrow, and horses that have been getting an easy time of things over the last couple of days of Aintree have been seen to good effect. So for me, I thought he was a good each way chance tomorrow if he can decimate the field like he did at Newbury. It might be a bit harder, he might be taken on by Honor, but if he can definitely get out, jumping well at the start, he might just be a little bit too hard to peg back in the closing stages, and for me, I'm going to be backing him there. We then go to the 3:40, which is quite a wide open race. I thought couldn't really back Apple's Jade. She doesn't run normally too well this time of year, and I'm going to be going with a horse at a bit of a price here called Wholestone. He's 16 to 1, trained by Nigel Twiston-Davis. Daryl Jacobs booked for the ride in the colours of Simon Munir and Isaac Swade. Got a good record at the track, finished 2nd in the race last year and won in November at Aintree, so he's got a good record at the track. Never been outside the first 2. Finished 5th in the Stairs Hurdle this year, which probably wasn't a bad effort, to be honest with you. He finished 3rd in the Stairs Hurdle the year before that, so he's always had a bit of quality about him. He always runs his race normally, and I just think tomorrow where there's some question marks over some of the field. He's a reliable horse normally. He likes to track 16 to 1 with 4 places with some firms. He's got to go well, and I think he's good each way value there. We then go to the 420 with a horse called Mr. Malarky, 6 to 1 with bookmakers at the moment. I was concerned about the stable form of Colin Tizard, but they actually had a winner today and lost in translation. They've been really quiet for the last couple of months, but maybe they just could be turning out a corner now. They always do well at the Aintree Festival as well. Also as well, Mr. Malarky was a very promising horse this season. He's won some decent handicaps. I've backed him quite a few times, so he owes me no favours, but I thought he could go well tomorrow. Finished 4th in the RSA, which is probably the best bit of form on offer. Also as well, John Joe O'Neill booked for the ride, probably one of the hottest conditionals around at the moment, now down to £3, was booked well earlier in the week for this, so this has been the plan all along. At 6 to 1 with multiple places, he's got to definitely make the frame, and for me, Mr. Malarky's handicap form is rock solid. He's got to go really close. The big one now, the 5:15, the English Grand National. What am I going for? I could have honestly given you any 4 that I've put up, but if you had to peg me on a final one, I think Joe Farrell. He's done it for me before. He's the biggest tip I've ever given in my YouTube career when I tipped him to win the Scottish National last year at 33 to 1. He's 20 to 1 for this race. He made the cut earlier in the week. He's bottom weight for the race. He won at Ayr, like I said, in the Scottish Grand National last year, so we know he stays over 4 miles, which is definitely a positive. He's trained by Rebecca Curtis. Adam Wedge booked for the ride. He's been probably targeted for the race ever since his win last year. He finished second in the veteran, or I should say, he ran in the Veterans Chase on his first start this season, where he finished in 6th place. He improved for that run. He was a close second last time, at Newbury. He goes well on flat tracks this way round, carrying a bottom weight tomorrow. If he can stay out of trouble with the 6 places on offer with a lot of firms, I think his chances have got to be respected tomorrow, and I think he's definitely going to run a big race. I have put up Rough Finden, and also as well put up a couple of other horses that you have to go and check out. I'm not going to give them away, but I do fancy one at a big price, and I'm not going to give that one away, so you've got to go and check it out on my Grand National preview. So Joe Farrell is my final selection. The final race, the conditional Jockey's Hurdle. I thought Havana Hermano in the 6:20 tomorrow could go well. I think he could have been laid out for the race. He's 25 to 1. Could be a good each way bet. Trained by Stuart Edmonds, who's a trainer I've got a lot of time for. Charlie Hammond, but for the ride, claiming £3 here. Finished 3rd at Huntington in the novice hurdle last time out, when he was given a lot of weight away to a nice horse of Alan King, who'd been running in higher grades, and that was a good effort that day to finish in 3rd place at Huntington. The form's worked out well because the 4th place horse, who was trained by Dan Skelton, has subsequently won at Ludlow, so that's good level of form. He already had some wins in the book at tracks such as Fakenham, so he knows how to get the job done, and I just thought Havana Hermano tomorrow, if the ground does continue to dry out tomorrow, I think he's got to go close. So at 25 to 1, he could definitely make the frame at a big price, and he's going to be my final selection for the Aintree Festival for 2019. So if you haven't done so already, please hit the subscribe button here on my YouTube channel for more horse racing videos. You can also follow me on Twitter as well. My handle is @LuckyLoads15. Also as well, you can follow the work I do on the Punters Page YouTube channel by just googling them or typing in YouTube. You'll find all my work there, and that's all I got to say. So please gamble responsibly. Hopefully you found a few winners in this video, and yeah, we'll be seeing you soon.